And we are back with more adventures of the Florida Powerboat Club. Stu Jones, along with producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio. But right now, guys, it's all about the Florida Panhandle as we revisit the club members in the middle of September for the 30th Annual Emerald Coast Powerboat Week. And we are now moving into episode 2 with feature coverage and a total of 6 episodes because it's a big event with over 90 powerboat teams registered. So, guys, let's get going. Before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. Our 2022 series sponsors include Blackwater Boats and their sister company, Deep Impact Custom Boats, and their authorized sales center, Plantation Boat Mart. Mystic Powerboats, Cigarette Racing Team and their authorized sales center, Top Gun Yachts, cigarette dealer Chief Marine Group, Midnight Express Powerboats, Big Thunder Marine, Concept Boats, Performance Boat Center, Mercury Racing, and Florida Powerboat Club's longest running sponsor, Nortec High Performance Boats. We'd also like to thank these event sponsors, AJ's Seafood and Oyster Bar, Alicomp Insurance, Bent Marine, dealers for Nortec High Performance Boats, Emerald Grand Resort, our event headquarters, GLASSTREAM Powerboats, and Legendary Marina of Destin, our official marine headquarters, along with Wozencraft Insurance. Well, guys, it's a Friday morning, and once again, the beautiful weather stuck with us. Look at those incredibly blue skies and that East Pass with calm waters today, light winds. And, of course, the Emerald Grand and Harbor Walk Village, an ideal venue for a poker run. It's, I think, one of the reasons that this is such a popular event for so many because of its luxurious accommodations and pretty much everything right here on your doorstep. And, of course, the important business of staging poker runs includes an important mandatory captain's meeting. There's Miss Jackie helping me out in the morning as we get most of the guys crowded into this Emerald Grand Ballroom. A lot of help from the FPC girls, but it's pretty serious stuff, guys. If you really think about it, we're going out to play around on local waters. We're driving around in high-performance boats, and the mandatory captain's meeting is all about going over the course map, talking about the safety guidelines, reminding everybody about wearing life jackets, introducing all of our paid duty paramedics and fire rescue personnel who are joining us for the event, and really just reminding everybody that common sense needs to be a top priority as well as safety. So if you combine those things, it all works out and we understand each other. What we're trying to accomplish today is go out and have fun on the water and be safe at all times. And of course, right after that important captain's meeting, we gave our FPC girls over to photographer Jimmy Stewart here at the Emerald Grand, and they took some time to do some photo work here by the pool. It wasn't too busy out in the pool yet. There is the lovely Nikki. And remember that most of these ladies also attended our Miss Powerboat Week contest, which was on Thursday night. We're going to have highlights of that later in the show. And that's what's cool about this whole staff that are brought in, some of them local, some of them that came in from a ways, like Lauren here. She came all the way from Sarasota to join us. But they came in to do the contest, but also stick around and help us out with the weekend as our FPC girls and handing out poker cards and, of course, hostessing all of the parties. And I noticed that some of you are going to ask, well, he's shooting stills. Where do I get to see all of these pictures? Well, of course, and there's lovely Brooke. We use these images in the magazine, the Powerboating in Paradise magazine. They're, of course, on our website. But also, these are the ladies that are featured in the pages of the Florida Powerboat Club annual wall calendar. So if you don't have your copy, you've got to call the club office and get one because we still got some hanging around the warehouse here. And, of course, guys, we like to mix it up on these shows a little, so let's take Brooke and go 24 hours forward, where she was our card girl on the first card stop at the Emerald Grand. And it's Brooke handing off to the Bulls. That's Michael Bull and Austin Bull in their 30-foot Eliminator. Let's listen into these big 630 cubic inch engines. Nice to see Stephen and Casey Head back again. They love this event. They're from Alabama, not too far away. Got Casey up on the bow, grabbing that first lucky poker card. They're driving their Formula 353 Fast Tack. And this team is becoming a regular on these events. Jack and Kay Stewart from Panama City Beach in their 32-foot Doug Wright, Team Blue Bayou. You got to love the paint job on this boat, and it is a fast ride. Twin Mercury Racing 400Rs on this very light 32-foot cat. And of course, these outboard cats becoming very popular on the poker run circuit. And it's another team that joined us from Alabama, Steve and Lisa Young, this 38-foot statement, Team Naughty Habit. And Steve and Lisa have really grown very fond of this event. They've done it so many times, I think we've all lost track. But they say it's their most favorite poker run every year, and we can count on seeing them pretty much every year. This statement has been the ideal poker run platform for them because they've always got a big crew. And of course, this floating tiki bar is a common sight around the Destin harbor. You got to remember, this is a very, very busy and active harbor with a lot of tourism. And if you don't own a boat, this is your best option. And a very special welcome to Stephen Galuli from North Carolina. A wave from it all, this 42 cigarette Tiger. And Steve was emailing me and reaching out prior to the event when he was buying the boat. You could tell he was so excited to join us, and he finally made it here, his first poker run with FPC. So welcome to Steve and his first mate. And get used to seeing Team Bent Marine on a lot of these poker runs because they're not far away. Louisiana is where Bent Marine exists, and they are a Nortec dealer. This is one of their customers with the brand new Nortec 400 Sport. The boat belongs to Bent Marine's customer Jay Tresheim, and it's the first poker run for this new model. It was released earlier in the year at the Miami Boat Show. And another Nortec team, this is Alden Thornton, who we all know as the mastermind behind all of the fishing models for Nortec. He actually finishes all of the Superfish models, 392, 452, and decided, hey, we need to go on a poker run now. We never get to go on these events. So nice to see Alden and his wife and their crew on this brand new 392 model. And it's always nice to see these regulars, Mark and Lana Albert, all the way from Texas, to joining us in this 35 fountain Team LICKALONAPUSS. There's actually a lot of boats here from Texas, and they seem to love this area. I think that's what keeps them coming back. We also saw this team back in May at the Orange Beach Powerboat Week event. They're all members of the TUTZ Club from Clear Lake, Texas. Okay, finally, a boat from South Florida. Don't see too many of them. That is Tiffany Renfro up on the sponsum of this 36-foot skater, Team Dirty Money. And that would be Jason and her husband Bo at the helm. They are regulars on a lot of our poker run events. They go to the Key West events, anything in the Florida Keys, Tampa, and here they are now up in the Florida Panhandle. Originally, their home is in Atlanta area, but they also have a home in Pompano Beach, Florida, not too far from Jackie and I. And let's welcome our sponsors from Team Big Thunder Marine. This is Ed Champion, his wife Kathy, on board this super cool 32 NX Fountain center console model. A step up from the fishing type boat. This is a very luxurious crossover center console, which is really ideal for doing poker runs. You can still fish with it. Got live wells and rod holders. Well, once again, it is Mark Fitzgerald and his first mate Laura in this 36-foot statement cat, Mercury Racing 450Rs. And I think I have lost track on how many events they have done already this year, but I'm guessing it's at least 4. One of them all the way to the Bahamas with this cat, and they are just keeping the adventure alive. Al and Christy Newell are all the way from Kentucky, and I remember going back all the way to the 90s where they joined us, and since then they've owned a lot of different boats, but lately this 30-foot Adrenaline is really keeping them happy. It's a sporty performance V-bottom with a lot of power and a lot of speed. What a great looking boat. I believe that it is the only 30 Adrenaline that we have in the Powerboat Club at this time. Nice to see Al and Christy back having fun with FPC. We've got the helicopter up in the air now, so let's get started with our aerial segment as we head out on the Friday lunch run. And here's a couple that have been on this run many, many times before. Nick and Priscilla Buis of Statement Marine. They came up from St. Petersburg with this 38-foot Statement powered by triple Merc 400s. And now catching up with that sponsor team, Mark and Eileen Fisher at the helm of this Plantation Boat Mart sponsored 41-foot Blackwater. Love the blue colors and rigged out with 4 Mercury 400 Verados. As you can see, this boat is rigged out for fishing big time. And of course, that's attractive to some of you guys out there. You can take this boat, go fishing, and do poker runs. It's got plenty of room for all your friends. A great running boat. They actually copied the bottom from a very successful Deep Impact 399. They felt like this 41 Blackwater would do well with the step bottom, and it certainly has performed quite well. Another thing I love about the boat is the wide beam and the big bow flare. A very dry boat and a great offshore boat. And for long-range cruising, you can equip these Blackwater 41s with up to 600 or 700 gallons of fuel last time I checked. That is a lot of cruising range. And he's now enjoying this Mystic 4200. That's Robert McAtee along with wife Aubrey all the way from Oklahoma. 900 miles to trail here to this event. Really enjoying this Mystic 4200. It's got Quad Mercury Racing 450s, a boat that he took delivery of earlier this year. And he's done a lot of poker runs already. And it's not the first time we've seen James and Sonia Redding here at this event, but it is the first time for their new Deep Impact 399. They just took delivery last fall. In fact, it was the Key West Poker Run when they launched their first run with this brand new 399. Check out the color scheme. The Nardo gray with the red trim and the red interior. I think it's a great look for this boat. And it's a big change up for Jonathan and Tracy Silsier, who have done this event so many times, but always in a Baja. So this was a big upgrade to this Nortec 437. It's powered by Mercury Racing 700s. What a beautiful performance V-bottom. You can see what a big solid ride this is as he crosses over these wakes. This 437 was a very limited model. It was basically came off of the 4300 platform, but they modified it with a center helm position, and it really was a great design. And here's another team, Preston Collins, one of those teams that seems to like doing the Orange Beach Powerboat Week back in May, and then they come and join us for the Emerald Coast event in September. This is a Nortec 392 Superfish model, Quad Mercury 350 Verados, a great fishing machine, and of course a great poker run machine. And a big step up for Preston after joining us way back about 15 years ago in a 26-foot Velocity. And here's another team that's fallen in love with the Emerald Coast. I've lost track of how many times they've joined us, but Craig and Paula Ackerman are from Georgia. And they started out way back when in a 29-foot Formula that went to a 34 MTI Cat, and now they're really loving this MTI 390X, and it is powered by twin Merc 450Rs. I love the graphics and how the paintwork extends through to the cowlings of the engine. This boat has won Best Paint and Graphics, I believe, on previous occasions. They often use these poker runs for family get-togethers, but it looks like it's just Dad and Mom for this one. Well, it looks like everybody's slowing down now, and that's because we're arriving at Juana's Pagodas for our lunch destination. There's Alden Thornton in his Nortec 392 Superfish, and there's Robert Sengelman in that big 452 Superfish. Looks like they got the tower up today. Got a big crew on board and some big power on that 452. Nice mix of power boats and offshore center consoles, and of course those very popular outboard cats. This is the kind of water that's really ideal for any kind of boat. And let's say hi to Charles Clark and his crew on We Be Trippin'. And there's another shot of that Nortec 437 that Jonathan and Tracy are using for their very first time on a poker run. Congratulations on the new boat. And I just can't help but notice how nice these conditions have stayed. Now we've had 2 or 3 good days of weather already. Now hoping for another one on Saturday as we now take a look here at Dan Williams and his crew on this 29-foot DCB. Aha, now that's the shot I've been waiting for. Look at that beach, just loaded with high-performance hardware. And for those of us who prefer to have a dock, well, there's enough space to put a few boats on the dock. Of course, everybody here at Juana's prepares the entire venue for us to arrive, and it's really a warm welcome mat in every which way. But you can see how the beach just keeps going several hundred feet around on the other side of the boat ramp. So it's really not a big deal to have 300 or 400 boats here on any given day. But we have always found that doing our fun run here on Friday kind of avoids the crowd, and there's not as many beachgoers here to park in the lot. Thanks again to Navarre Fire Rescue for holding our helicopter parking spots. And it's here on the beach where all the action is, and if you want to get a front row seat to the coolest offshore powerboats and the most fun-loving people you'll find anywhere, not to mention a few bikinis, well, this is the place you want to be. And that's why it's been such a big attraction for so many people. When they know that the poker run's coming, a lot of people will come down and check out all the action. But we kind of fly in under the radar when we do it on a Friday. Everybody expects these to happen on a weekend. But you can see that we've got a lot of room to move around. It's a big, huge beach for playing volleyball. I think some of us did end up playing a few games. Big docks for this big 59-foot cigarette Tirana, 6 carat. One of 3 boats registered with the Black Diamond team. But if you're wondering where all the people are, well, they're all inside getting some AC, hanging out in the sports bar where we have the sponsored lunch thanks to Alicomp Insurance. This is a repeat performance really from Alicomp to help us out with this lunch, and we stepped up the game a little, and they put a great menu out for us, like a taco station menu. Lots of good food and obviously great service from all the servers. So this has been a really, I think, a real big hit for all of us to have this giant sports bar that Juana's built a few years back. So thanks to the entire team at Juana's for putting on a great spread for all of us. And if you're smart, you'll get back outside because we've got some nice entertainment happening here as we put our photographer team together, Pete Bowden and as well as Jimmy Stewart with our FPC girls. And they had their hands full because we had plenty of girls to share. I think 7 girls at least were with us on the run today. So that gave Pete and Jimmy plenty of opportunity to move it around and create some different sets. This is my favorite shot here on the Concept 4400. Guys, well, yeah, this is why we love poker runs. Well, guys, you can't have more fun than that. And as the helicopter gets back up in the air, you can see a lot of people have taken to the water and cooling off now on this beautiful September day. And a great display of performance boats. Look at everything all lined up nicely along the beach here. Some of us threw some anchors and rafted up. That always works out well. But it's obvious to see why we just keep on coming back to Juana's year after year. It's just a great destination. I think probably one of the most popular boating hotspots in these parts and these waters here in the Florida Panhandle. And they've also been great supporters of the event by making donations to our charity. So thanks to Juana's. Well, looks like everybody's having a great day today. We're going to be getting back up on plane shortly as we start heading back eastbound. Going to be about a 23 mile ride back to Destin Harbor. I think the helicopter's going to stay with Eddie Collier all the way back. Okay, it looks like it's Team GLASSTREAM, that new LS 360. An ideal poker run machine. It came from the GLASSTREAM factory in Dothan, Alabama. Cruz Rutherford and her team on board. They've been with us many times here at this event, this time joining us as a sponsor for the event. And we've seen these GLASSTREAM models on a lot of our runs over the years, but this 36, I think it's going to be really the ideal poker run machine. They build a lot of boats, though. I've been at their factory a few years back, and they have so many different models, probably 18, 19, 20 different models of GLASSTREAMs. And sometimes when you see them at the boat show, I often find it amazing at just how many models they make, and they really do have a boat for everybody. And we look forward to seeing Team GLASSTREAM on our next event back up in the Florida Panhandle and the Gulf Coast. That'll be the Orange Beach Powerboat Week, May 11th to the 13th. And let's catch up with Wes Harlow and his DCB 35 Mercury Racing 700s. He's done a lot of work to the boat in the last couple of years, and he's got it running fantastic. But I can't help think back just 10 years or so, maybe more, maybe 11 or 12, when We first saw Wes here on these runs. It was the Emerald Coast Poker Run where we met him the very first time. He's from Pensacola, and he's in the plumbing business. And he told me that's where he made his first money to buy his very first boat. And it's one more time with Will Kufis, and we've seen this boat a lot actually in recent episodes. He did the Tampa Bay Poker Run riding with Aaron Swafford on his boat, but then he showed up on the next two events to the Bahamas with this 32 skater, and here he is now at the end of the summer joining us up here at Emerald Coast. So not a bad record this summer for Will Kufis on this 32 skater, which actually has two names, Team Willpower, but I like the other one, Cheap Skater. He used that one on the last couple runs. And now we're catching up with Chris and Shelby Mattingly in their Midnight Express 43 Open, 5 Mercury Racing 450s. Looks like he's got the radar scanner running today. And I've often heard from licensed captains that if you have a radar and a scanner, that it must be activated when you're on the vessel. So there it is. It's on now. Got a light crew on board today. I know they usually have a lot more people. It looks like Shelby's just chilling back in the back row of seats going, okay, honey, you drive. I'm going to be right here behind you. And this boat will be tied up at the AJ's sponsor dock later on, and I know that it's going to be a big hit with another midnight tied alongside and all the lights on. And from a wild midnight to a mild midnight, this is the factory entry, another 43. This one powered by Quad Mercury Racing 450Rs, unlike the previous one we saw with 5 motors. And you can see the generally just, plain vanilla graphics, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I know this is a demo boat for the factory, so it is for sale, but this is a good platform for Eric and his friends to use. They brought the boat up from the factory in Miami to join us for this event, which has become a favorite of theirs. And now a change of pace as we reach Noriego Point, a popular rafting spot along this long beach in Destin Harbor, right across from AJ's. And a huge beach, really. You could fit 500-600 boats here on any given weekend. It's pretty much full, like every square inch of sand is covered up by a boat. And when they fill that up, then they start rafting a second row with stern to stern. So that's always worked out well. But here's a nice shot, as you can see, towards the end of the day. Just, I think, a nice way to finish off a great day of boating. Pulling here up to the sand and get out and have a little swim. Hang out with your fellow club members, but also a way to meet a lot of the locals because, they're going to be coming out now at the end of the day with their boats, and they want to get in on the fun too. So this is just a great way to engage with the local boating public, and no better place to do it than right here at Noriego Point. And there's a shot we've all been waiting to see as we cram all of this fiberglass into the small basin here in front of AJ's Seafood and Oyster Bar. Of course, it's one of our sponsor locations, and we call it the sponsor dock for that reason. So all of our series sponsors and event sponsors that want to display their boats, this is the ideal setting. And of course, it does mean that they need to get back here, by 4 o'clock each day so we can start filling it in. So obviously the first ones to go in are going to be the last ones that get out in the morning. So it is important that we schedule those times so that everyone knows and all the captains are there so the boats can be moved easily in and out. And I do want to mention that AJ's has been involved in the poker run from the earliest days, way back in the early 90s when the event began. Actually, AJ's owner, Alan Laird, is one of the co-founders of the Emerald Coast Poker Run, and he, as well as his partner, John Reinhold, and back at the time, Johnny Springfield, they invited me, to come up and join them and bring FPC up to this Florida Panhandle. We joined in the late 90s, and that's when we kind of formed a great partnership. And since then, times have changed, and people have come and gone, but Alan Laird and John are no longer involved in the operation of the poker run, but they support it in every way they can. And this is what Alan and his group do for us every year, to give us these docks and, of course, provide a great venue for the Friday night captain's party. And, that's about ready to warm up now. We're going to see that coming to shape here in the early evening. I think around 7 o'clock the doors open, and that's going to be a big party for everyone to join in, with an amazing food buffet for everyone and a VIP hospitality area for all of our sponsors. But I found my spot right here on the dock behind this Midnight Express. Just part of the entertainment agenda here at AJ's every night. As always, the energy level here at AJ's was extremely high, especially for the Friday night party. And this is the shot I've been waiting for, and that's when all of the LEDs get turned on, both in the cockpits and, of course, the underwater lights. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? One of our longtime supporters of this event, Lynn Archambault, reminding us that she was at that signature 25th annual Key West event. Well, all I can think of, guys, is saying that there is a lot of eye candy, whether it's fiberglass or motors or bright lights or pretty ladies. Well, we got it all here at AJ's on this Friday night party. So let's join the FPC girls who are taking it up a notch tonight. We saw them in their bikinis earlier in the day over at Juana's, but tonight it's cocktail dresses as the girls get together. And of course, the cameras are going to roll as they always do. So let's enjoy the show. Well, I was just reminded why it's so nice to have Amber get us all our lovely ladies all the time. She did such a great job finding us these lovely FPC girls, 7 altogether joining us. And then we got these 2 on top. Oh, it was a fun night for everybody here at AJ's. Guys, we got to wrap it up as we are closing in on the 30-minute mark for this episode 2 with feature coverage of the Emerald Coast Powerboat Week 2022 edition. As we leave the docks here from AJ's, but remember, we got plenty more to come. 4 more episodes to be exact, so you can't afford to miss any of that, guys. Remember to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so you'll get a reminder every time a new episode is released. Be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events in 2021, as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club, and you can follow us on Twitter and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're going to sign off for now. This is Stu Jones along with our producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio. Have fun out there, guys. Be safe on the waterways. Wear your life jackets when the time is right, and always respect your fellow boaters. Bye for now.